And we're going to go share to Facebook. Live on Facebook. Here we go. Hold on. Connected. Go live. Here we go. The meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Setting up meeting for Facebook Live. All right.
It just popped up that you're going live.
There you go. Setting up meeting.
So let me jump on here and get to sharing. It just popped up that
Hold on.
So let me jump on here and get to sharing.
Okay. Is that you or me?
So let me jump on here and get to sharing.
Huh? Okay.
The echo?
You or me? Yeah. Is it my
It's
computer?
yours is coming through in a delay. The
Okay.
echo?
Okay, but
Yeah. Is it my? It's yours is coming through in a
All right.
delay.
yeah. So what I have to
Okay,
do
but, yeah, is it mine?
is go off of
Yours
that.
is coming through in a delay.
All right.
Yeah. So what I have to do
I think I got off of it.
is go off of that.
No,
All right. So what I have to do is
we'll get it.
Nope. All right.
All right. Is there a way I can mute this? All right. Is there a way I can mute this? Welcome, everybody. We're Facebook Live. We are doing our Derby podcast. We are started out. Welcome, everybody. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. And we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. All right, here we go. I can do this. There we go. Better? Yes. Now, can you hear it on yours?
Yeah.
All right.
Not the
echo.
delayed.
No, I'm going to go back to Zoom. There we go. Everything's going. We're live on Facebook. All right. So this is our YouTube part of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys that we will eventually put on YouTube. But tonight it is live on Facebook. This is the Scotchy Bourbon Boys Kentucky Derby special edition podcast where Super Nash and myself, Tiny, and eventually, hopefully, Xavier will make an appearance. But if he doesn't, there you go. Kentucky, 148th running of the 2022 Kentucky Derby is this Saturday. So we will have our picks as we go on. But tonight, we are going to be drinking the Kentucky Bourbon, the Kentucky Derby sponsored bourbon, Woodford Reserve, and they've been the official bourbon of the Kentucky Derby for a couple years now. They come out with special bottles. Tonight we have this year's 2022 special bottle. Behind, you can see Super Nash at the moment. Behind him is that bottle. But then we are going to do a tasting of a few others. There's that special bottle this year. Gorgeous
artwork.
I really think it's my favorite bottle this year. I saw it once early on, and I don't know why I passed it up. It must have been when I was, I believe me and my wife are right there. But in honor of this year's Kentucky Derby, I am going to be opening up my special bottle from 2019 that I picked up at the distillery. This is private stock of Jeff Mueller, September 27, 2019. I will be drinking that particular bottle. And then we are going to be tasting batch 16. And it's very fine, rare bourbon. This is a delicious last year's limited edition Woodford Reserve. And then this year's just came out. And this one is the 5 malt stouted mash. Now, I have not opened my bottle yet, and I don't believe Super Nash has his bottle. And we're going to be opening those up together. And then we're going to be also tasting one of my favorites these days is Woodford Reserve Double Oak. Double oaked. And, double oaked. Oaked is not actually a word. So it's really kind of cool that they made their own word for this bourbon, because this bourbon definitely deserves a special place for, I love this. The butterscotch notes on this. This is a delicious bourbon. I actually also have a Florida pick, the state pick for double oaked, but it's not quite as good as the actual blend that we got here. But Super Nash has some tasting notes on that. But remember, once again, www.scotchybourbonboys.com. When you go there, you can find out everything Scotchy Bourbon Boys. But also, if you go to the right-hand corner of that Scotchy Bourbon Boys on the first page, there is a Patreon button. Now, that must be you there, Super Nash. All right. So what? Okay, he's got it. So there's a Patreon button in the top right-hand corner. Push that button and you can support the Scotchy Bourbon Boys in so many different ways. We have Glen Cairns, these wonderful Scotchy Bourbon Boy Glen Cairns. We've got Scotchy Bourbon Boy T-shirts, which Super Nash is also wearing. We love these T-shirts. And then we also have different tasting packages and whatnot. Check that out on Patreon. All your help helps us keep putting on this podcast special, make this podcast special, all the different things we can do. And we greatly appreciate all our fans. Now, we are also on Facebook. We are a Facebook group, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You should need to get into this group, especially if you're in the Ohio area, because we actually, as a group, meet every 4 to 6 weeks. And we have people like Super Nash coming up all the time to share in the fun. We have guests, we have speakers. Our last meeting had Ann Dimmick from OHLQ, Ohio Liquor. She is the head of their Barrel Select program, and they're really into the promotion and marketing of bourbon and whiskey, and also other spirits in the state of Ohio. Wonderful meeting. Ann is a super person. But then we are on Instagram. We are on Twitter at Scotchy The. We are on TikTok. We're on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Yep. So check us out. We're pretty much on any format that you can think of that's probably not strictly political. So we're
just about every digital platform that plays podcasts, YouTube. You can ask Alexa or Siri to play the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and she'll play it.
Yep.
So check us out, no matter where you like to listen or watch.
The shameless pitch, but now we are going to get on right now. So what will happen is we do a 30-second spot that at the moment you won't be able to hear. We're going to start our podcast from the audio.
1 second. I'd just like to say, hey, Carl Henley, Scotch. Because he's watching us live.
Here we go. We're just going to go. Starting the countdown.
Dant Crossing, Gethsemane, Kentucky. Timeless hospitality that stirs the spirit. Dant Crossing is a one-of-a-kind destination for unforgettable weddings, memorable corporate events, day trips, and weekend getaways. The pastoral campus is anchored by Log Still Distillery and includes an amphitheater that seats 2,000, a 12-acre lake for fishing, and unique lodging options, creating an immersive experience that's rooted in the community and culture of our little slice of Kentucky. More attractions will open soon at Dant Crossing, including our 21,000 square foot distillery, which we will have the ability to produce 15,000 barrels of spirit each year, a network of wooded walking trails, fully functional private train depot, farm-to-table restaurant, and the Legacy, a premier wedding and events venue. Whether you're looking to host an event, book a stay, or reserve a tasting, we're ready to welcome you. Learn more at dantcrossing.com.
Spirits of French Lick is proud to introduce the Maddie Gladden Bottled and Bond Bourbon. This 4-year aged bourbon is double pot distilled and non-chill filtered and has a full-bodied mouthfeel with eucalyptus, molasses, clove, ginger, and slight citrus as well as grains of paradise. The finish is long and reappearing on the back of the tongue with notes of pepper, tobacco leaf, and mint green. All of our spirits are available for tasting and purchase inside the French Lick Winery and Distillery. Spirits of French Lick. Respect the grain, please enjoy responsibly, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
Woo! All right.
Yes, and we are back for
Scotchy
another
Bourbon Boys in the house.
exciting podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. I am
Absolutely.
Tiny. This is Super Nash over
Super Nash.
there, right there. That's Super Nash.
Yeah. That's Tiny right over there. Yeah.
We are ready for
Right beside me.
We are ready to rock and roll tonight with our Kentucky Derby special podcast, tasting the Woodford Reserve
First
line
annual.
that we have.
Our first annual Kentucky Derby special.
Second. We did one last year. You can look it up, but that was this. We did the Wilderness Trail.
Yeah, but this is a
2021.
This is a pre-Kentucky Derby special.
Well, this one
where we're tasting the Kentucky Bourbon Derby bourbon, and we got our picks, which ain't gonna show you those yet. We'll save those a little later.
If they go back and pause it, that you just did.
I was waving it around too quick. They couldn't read those horses that quick.
So I'll try here. I haven't been, we're Facebook living, which is fantastic.
Yes,
I'm excited.
it is.
Hopefully people drop in throughout the night. We sometimes get long-winded, right? That's what.
Yep. And if you got any questions, I've got it going on in front of me here. So if you got a question, ask us and we'll try to get an answer for you.
Yeah. Just leave your leave it in your contacts. Let me see. I'm going to try and share it here. I'll share it to some groups too. Let's just go, right? You've already shared it to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, right?
I sure have.
Scotch. We got, all right. We'll just see. We might have it in multiple places. I'll just try and, I'm just whipping through real quick. Hey, so what do you want to taste first? You want to show everybody that beautiful bottle, that special bottle with the artwork?
Yeah, I think since this is the Kentucky Derby special for the running number 148th running of the Kentucky Derby 2022. And to start off with, just to give you a good close look up at that artwork of the bottle and the painting. And let me tell you about that and who did it. This year's bottle features the artwork of Kentucky native Jamie Coram, an equine artist known for her stunning horse portraits. Coram's painting, titled Dreams in Bloom, features 3 thoroughbreds racing neck and neck, surrounded by a spray of vivid spring flowers, including the iconic red roses of the Derby.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's completely awesome. There's just one more place I'm looking for to share this, and it's like not coming up.
Yeah. So we're going to start off with this. I might as well get a pour.
So you're grabbing a pour, you're opening it. I am celebrating tonight because I wasn't able to locate that bottle, but I have my own special bottle that I did in 2019 September 27th of 2019 when I completed the Bourbon Trail. And that was the last Woodford Distillery, the Woodford Reserve Distillery I visited. It was the last one. That was the last stamp that I did after 925 miles on my car, but not including the 70, 80 miles that were put on during the bus trip that day. But I've got this right here. I'm opening it up. It's my special bottle, but because we're tonight celebrating that Derby on Saturday, I'm going to open this bottle up. It is my private selection, but this way we can be drinking the general and talking about the general. Ooh, it's a little. I noticed the cork didn't really pop. I didn't get that. Well, let's see if we're going to let it air because it's been in there a while. I mean, it's been sitting there. It's almost a dusty, right? 2019, 3 years old.
Yeah, that's almost considered a dusty, isn't it?
So I let the air out. Let's see if it. Nope.
And this year's bourbon is a Distiller Select, and it is 90.4 proof.
This is also, I believe, 750. It is also 90.4 proof. That is the proof of the standard Woodford Reserve. Shook it up a little bit, aired it out, and now it's going in my glass. So, everybody who's watching, maybe, maybe nobody's watching. That's
well, we got about 4 people watching right now.
Okay, hopefully some people leave some comments. That would be great. But we've got these wonderful Scotchy Bourbon Boy Glencairns available for sale on the website or through the Patreon program. Martin Duffy, who is a Scotchy Bourbon Boy, he's been on the podcast 2 times. We've had him on twice. Going to have him on more because he's such a good friend of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys.
Yeah, he was. He helped us get started in a lot
right.
Of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of different podcasts. Initially we're going to have, but this one, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, that logo, he helped us get this on because he is the North American sales representative of the Glencairn Glass Company. These are official Glencairns. Glencairns are the greatest glasses to taste in. They've got the base, so you're not warming up your whiskey with your hand. They've got the tulip shape, so that when you nose it, that all that flavor of aromas are being condensed into a little area that you can smell it.
And such a wonderful aroma this bourbon has.
No, this is I find this is like close to Old Forester. They're similar. I mean, it's just to me, this is like just a little bit different. There's an aspect that's different, but they're so close when they're there. This doesn't always have the banana that the Old Forester has. But if you remove that banana, that's what this gets. It's very yeasty.
I'm getting a lot of dried fruits off of this, like cranberry and orange.
I get like
maybe even a little cherry, like dark dried cherries.
I get more like I would get a pear, maybe
really light in the fruits.
A little yeasty, like a bread, a pear.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting the yeast in the bread and
but you're drinking 2021 or 2022 bourbon and I'm drinking 2019. Always a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little bit of brown sugar now and I'm getting a little bit of oak.
I'm getting vanilla and oak. I'm not so much getting the brown sugar, but I'm getting like those 3 dark dried fruits or 2 dark dried fruits in the orange. Now it's not like a citrusy orange, it's like a dried orange, like the dried oranges that they use for cocktails.
So here I am. I like as you'll find out, I like Woodford Double Oaked. That's one of my favorite bourbons. And this bourbon right now is still, Woodford Reserve has held its price. It's $35.99. That's what you were paying for it. That's what you would pay for it in that I think you paid 40 something down there, right, for your bottle.
It was $46 tax and all out the door.
But here in Ohio, it would have been $35.99 because they had the Derby special box where it gave you the copper glass for the Kentucky Mule for the Kentucky Derby, and I have it right here. I did not buy the special bottle because I already have the copper cup. So, but it was the same exact.
You're going out tomorrow. You're going out tomorrow and buy that bottle, so you'll send me that copper cup, right?
Anything for you, Super Nash. You know I do anything for you.
And anything for you, my brother.
Hey, do we actually have comments? Anything for you, Super Nash. You know I do anything for you. Oh, it hooked up.
Anything for you, my brother.
Hey, do we actually have comments?
Now I'm hearing the double talk.
Yeah, because my hooked up to the
yeah, just like mine was with the phone cuts on the speaker.
And then all right, here's what comments. Here we go. There we go. We'll turn it down. All right. I just wanted to see the comments. It was Carl. All right. Carl was watching, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's got about 4 comments.
It's just close to get a room. Is that just the newest one?
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Yeah. Only if you're joining us, big boy.
That's right.
Cheers, Carl.
Whiskey in the middle.
Whiskey in the middle. That's insane. That is fast thinking there, Super Nash. Whiskey in the middle. All right.
Ooh,
all
yeah.
Right. So
it's time to taste this bad boy.
Now, Woodford, for me, their general offering, which is everywhere, like any place, any restaurant you can go to, that is not always been my favorite. I don't go to that. Now, when they started putting in Woodford Double Oaked into a lot of different places, now that I'm going for. It's a little bit more expensive. That's into the $50 range, but for me, that double oaked aspect just turns this into the great thing. Now, I'm not going to say Woodford Reserve is bad. I can't, because it's still good. Now, with all that said just now, when I took a sip of this,
that said, we should have started off with the Woodford Double Oaked. No. I've heard Woodford Double Oaked 4 or 5 times. Since you started.
Are we back to where are we pulling that from? All right.
Wasn't me.
I got rid of it. You just keep watching the comments. Let us know the comments because I'm having a problem. It was showing up on the thing. But I'm sitting here going, yeah, I don't. Exactly. Oh, what did Carl say?
Oh, my gosh. I guess whiskey in the middle would bring a new meaning to double oak.
Oh, my God. Anyways.
Anyways, Carl.
I'm going to have to put that fucking on TikTok right there. So I'm drinking this, and I'll take a sip, and I get the aspect of the bourbon, but I get a bread, yeasty kind of flavor, a little bit of that pear, and I'm going, that's what I remember. And then Super Nash, out of nowhere, at the end on the finish, shoots up. I'm just sitting there, and there it is. Buttercream vanilla pudding. Wow. I mean, holy crap, it's this finish is like, wow.
My first sip of this was just a mouth explosion of vanilla. Lots and lots of vanilla on this. And then it almost goes into like a light chocolate, like a milk chocolate. And then it goes from there. On my finish, I'm getting just a little bit of like the dark cherry, like a dark dried cherry.
I'll get a little.
Then a little bit of cinnamon.
But it's like on that finish, the dark cherry starts off, okay? I'll give you dark cherry, almost oak. But then out of nowhere on this bottle is coming this unbelievable shot of, and it takes a couple minutes, a minute. There it is. it's like unbelievable. I think this finish for a 90.4, I would be giving this finish a 5 plus a butt up if we were barrel bashing this, and we're not barrel bashing.
It's a really good finish. I mean, nice mouthfeel to it. I mean, it's really full, and to me, complex in the flavors. I mean, I'm getting a lot of flavor front to back, and it's like changing as it goes from the front tip of my tongue across the palate to the back of it. And it's just the finishing is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought that. It's been a while since I've drank regular Woodford Reserve Distiller Select.
Well, yeah, it's been a real long time because, like I said, I avoided, but I really enjoyed it. Now, let's see. I'm just looking for 90.4 on the double oaked. Then we got the very fine, rare, very fine, rare bourbon. It's not 16-year-old. It's batch 16.
Oh, batch 16.
Yes, it's limited edition series number 16. And it is also 90.4 proof. So yeah, look at that. It's series 16. And then the stout, we're on our game this because we are on series 17 on the stout. Now, I was looking for age. I couldn't find any. I hope you did, because we are also tasting tonight the 5-malt stouted mash. I had this at my local bar, Gervasi. And do you have to mention someone tonight? Are we going to be mentioning someone tonight?
Sure am. I'd like to give a shout out to Majors Discount Liquors here in Anderson, to Stacy Majors, that she helped me acquire this bottle this afternoon at the last minute at a very good price. And anybody that's in and around the Anderson area, they do barrel picks and a lot of times, and have lots and lots of good bourbons and whiskeys and other liquors in there. So go see Stacy Majors or Melissa Boatwright at Majors Discount Beverage here in Anderson, South Carolina.
Awesome. Now, this is our first actual podcast that we're doing tonight. Now, we're already, 17 minutes into it that we put on Facebook Live, and we're going to do this from time to time a little bit more often, but we got to kind of move along because we're already 17 minutes in this. So, this is the Saturday is kind of exciting. I mean, let's just go over the Kentucky Derby across the country. I mean, but in Kentucky, it's almost like it's their holiday, right? I mean, the whole state's holiday.
It's like, and the state of Kentucky is like their national holiday that actually sort of lasts like a whole week long,
which is kind of fucking insane because it's pretty insane because it only lasts 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's such a build up to this week. There's so many events going on. Randy Prossi, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival president, and also our El Presidente of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Before he was the president of Kentucky Bourbon Festival, was in charge of a lot of things at the Kentucky Derby. He ran a lot of the festival aspects. He had security, and he had the whole smooth running of it. Now, from what I was hearing from him, he is doing a couple things this week. He's not going to be directly involved with the main event, but there's a bunch of stuff going on that they asked him to, kind of come back and have some fun.
I saw that the Kentucky Bourbon Festival is going to be the presenter and all that. So he sort of announced that earlier this week. They got their marketing in. And speaking of Kentucky Bourbon Festival, remember, May 11th, tickets are going on sale, but if you go to the website and sign up, you can become a friend of the Kentucky, part of there, and be signed up and whatever, and you can get an email for early tickets. So I suggest early access tickets.
Going to that,
and that's the 11th through June 11th through the 13th, right?
No. The tickets that are going on sale May 10th
Oh, okay.
are for the actual September
Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
15th through 18th, the night of the 15th and 16th, 17th, and 18th in Kentucky.
Gotcha.
As far as the barbecue on June 10th and 11th, that's coming up. Those tickets have been on sale. It's the Bardstown. Now I'm not even going to go. I'm not going there. It's the Kentucky Bourbon Festival Barbecue Challenge. It's the Bardstown Barbecue Challenge, and so it's happening at the Log Still Distillery. Yep. Get your tickets. It's going to be fantastic. We are going to be down there. The Scotchy Bourbon Boys will be in the house. So come by, stop by, say hi. So we would appreciate it. So let's get on to the next one. So we've got two.
Which one are we going next?
We should do the double oaked.
Double oaked?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's hit that double oaked. Oh my God, it's back on. And it's like killing me. Did we get any more comments? No, you can hear, it sucks that you can hear them in the background and I can't watch, but. All right.
Double oaked. This, Woodford Reserve Double Oaked is at 45 is 90.4 proof, the same thing as the Distiller Select.
Yep.
Finished in a second oak barrel. It's fourth double oaked.
Just the nose on this. It's like a Werther's candy.
Wow. So much caramel.
It's one of those caramel Werthers. It's so good. And then it leads into, that first nose. Oh.
I almost get, it's like a caramel apple, like a caramel apple. I get that little bit of apple.
There's a little nut aspect of it too. It's the whole thing, a caramel apple with peanuts and with
the nuts on it.
I get that. And it just what it does in the glass and how it clings to the sides. It's thick, long legs just pouring back in. Really rich, dark color. We're talking about, getting past. It's like a mahogany.
Takes forever. Yeah, definite mahogany.
Just
and
delicious.
Henceforth, probably coming from that second finishing in the oak barrel.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm
picking up those other
vanilla on the top.
Charred colors.
This is this nose is what I want, and it's just perfect.
Yeah, it's so pleasant.
It's got the caramel, it's got the vanilla. It's got like a nutty, not a peanut, but a nut aspect to it, and then it's got almost no ethanol. And then when you go and you drink it, it just is. I think
so creamy and caramelly,
and
lots of vanilla.
But then the butterscotch aspect of
and
this
then
on the finish is just unbelievable. It's like taking that Woodford that we just had and putting it on like the best steroids you ever could put the whiskey on to make it taste the best it can.
Almost to me, God, that second little taste is almost like a butterscotch peanut brittle.
Yep. I would agree with that. Oh. I'm trying to find the glass that I used. Nope. Somewhere out there it is. Anyways, delicious. All right.
I was just looking to see if that was part of their.
So since this is the
Master's collection, but it's just a barrel finished.
This is a Kentucky Derby. What does the Kentucky Derby mean to you, Super Nash, throughout your life? I mean, there's no way some people had it more important than others. It had more importance at different times. Maybe you had friends that liked the Derby and then you didn't have friends that liked it. I mean, what throughout, your, illustrious life?
I guess, wow, it's just, in a nutshell, if I have to put it all together, to me, it was all about the excitement, the build up to it, and then like all the people just betting on these horses on that day, and then just such a show of class of the people, the ladies dressing up with their fancy hats, the men in suits with their hats and all that, and then everybody gathering there just for that 2 minutes. And I mean, it's excitement from the start when they're coming out of the gate all the way down through the first turn around the track. I mean, just people are hollering and screaming. And I mean, just so much, like I say, you know, a lot of money being placed on these 20 horses.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, and it's just such an exciting 2 minutes, you know, because I bet I've watched more Kentucky Derbies than probably NASCAR races in my lifetime.
The Kentucky Derby, to me, when I was a kid, was always because TV was so different. I mean, back then when we were growing up, you had 3 channels. You had sports on Saturday, and then you had football on Sunday, and maybe a couple local baseball games throughout the week. But for the most, and Monday Night Football, ABC. So I remember ABC running the Derby because, and its importance because it was like the only thing on Saturday. Like, this Saturday, if you want to sit down and watch Derby, you basically go out of your way, find where the Derby is. You can get a channel probably through DirecTV where you can have 42 different angles and you can get the most intense Derby coverage, ESPN, whatever, wherever it's being shown. TV is amazing now. But that said, if you're not into the Kentucky Derby, you could actually miss it. Like, it's not the only thing on. I mean, there's so much other stuff that goes on, whatever. Yeah. Whereas back then, growing up as a kid, it was the only thing on. It's what you watched. I just remember watching it. It was, I didn't watch a lot as a kid, I didn't watch a lot, but I always watched the Derby. It was kind of like, you know, it's like Sunday football, only thing on, that's what we watched. But as I grew older and I become a young adult where I could wager, I started wagering. We had a horse track in Illinois that we would go to, and it was about 45 minutes away from our house, and we would go there and I was wagering. So then I kind of got into the Derby because of the fact that I was going to the races, you know what I mean? So that was kind of that part of my life. Then when I came to Ohio, I really didn't do a lot of Derby stuff, right? You know what I mean? But meeting Xavier and Mrs. Xavier, they were more into the horses. So then it became more about the alcohol. You know, my first mint julep, you know, there's the last 2 years ago, right before COVID hit, the one before they canceled whatever, and last year's, but that one was, for me, I basically had my first mojito. I was drinking mojitos, and it was, you know, we were at a bar or a restaurant that had a really nice bar, and we actually were, I believe, in Wisconsin at the time. And I was just like, I had a mojito, and then we saw that the Derby was on, so we started drinking mojitos, waiting for the Derby to come in. So that was kind of good. Xavier has joined us.
Xavier, all right.
Brother Nash,
welcome.
How are you?
Great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad you made it.
Super.
All right. So pour me some of your.
You know, I'm actually this year, my plans for the Kentucky Derby, weather permitting, because it's kind of touch and go with a lot of rain here this week. And I also heard that they're expecting rain all day Friday in Louisville at the track, and that it should be sort of sketchy for Saturday for the running. But my plans for the first time ever, I'm hoping to take a bike ride up to Harris Cherokee up in the mountains and I'm actually going to place some bets on the 3 horses that I have pre-picked right here on this paper.
We have
showing you the back of it because I'm not going to show you
the front.
me.
Yeah, that's coming up. But
that's what my plans are for this year's Kentucky Derby.
Fantastic. Sounds great.
Well, you jumped the gun right there, because when we were talking about what it meant to us growing up, then we were going to go to the next one and talk about what it means to us completely now.
Yeah.
This year.
Well, see, that's what it sort of meant to me about all along, but I've never, ever actually placed a wager. I went up last year, and I had talked to El Presidente and all that last year before the running. And I actually went up to Harrah's last year to place a bet. But you actually, at the time, because of the Indian laws and all that, you could not actually place bets on animal races and all. So I got up
the
there.
Jockeys, right?
Yeah. I said, well, let me bet on the jockey.
Exactly.
I'm not betting on
we were on
horse.
that. What's the problem?
Yeah. So, like I say, last year I had got up there and found out that I couldn't place any bets, and I was like, was talking with Randy, and he was like telling me, a couple of places that I could have went, but I didn't get a chance to. So
yeah, a couple years ago, we were together with Xavier and Mrs. Xavier around their kitchen table, and it was Derby Day, and we kind of we watched the Derby, and he was making mint juleps and whatnot, and we kind of did that for that day. But we decided that we wanted to go to the Kentucky Derby, but it happened to be, we looked into tickets, and we were looking at tickets. They weren't sure, because we were looking at those infield tickets, and infield tickets are crazy.
Like Woodstock revisited.
Yeah, if it rains, it's muddy, if it could turn into a whatever, and then you only get to see one section that comes by you. You don't have access to, it's basically porta potties and whatever. And so they had decided maybe that they might not go. And then we were thinking that we would go, and then the whole world went to shit. And I don't even think, did they even run it that year? I don't think they ran that. I think
they ran it in September.
Yeah, they switched it over to September. Yeah. And then, and that's the year that they went did they go virtual on Kentucky Bourbon Festival? Yeah, that's the year that they
that's the year that we went virtual.
They moved that to September, and virtual was November, right?
Yep.
So that's what happened there.
When I won the Blanton sign bottle.
Yeah, there you go. You
nice.
You mean I watched you win it, and then you won it?
Well, some people got to work for a living.
Oh, yeah. You were not working.
I was. I swear.
15 minutes ago, I was still working.
All right. So the Woodford Reserve.
I heard that. I know what you mean there, Xavier.
Once again, we're going to revisit all this Woodford. I mean, this is Kentucky. The Woodford Reserve Distillery is a fantastic place. I think we're going to include a tour this year with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. When we go down, we're going to try and go up one day and do 2 or 3 distilleries up in the Lexington area. Maybe we'll do a Wild Turkey, a Woodford, but I think
Castle and Key.
Yeah, Castle and Key, Wild Turkey, and Woodford. Maybe that's what we'll.
That'll
be a day, like a Tuesday, because I've already been informed that's the day that I have to plan seriously. Because
do you want me to go ahead and book it when I go up on that Thursday before y'all get there?
You don't get to do that this year. You just don't.
I know.
You're going to have to be writing invoices on that Thursday. So you. All right. So we are going to go to the very fine rare bourbon Series 16, another 90.4. Now, I do have.
What was I drinking here?
That was Woodford Double Oaked.
Woodford Double Oaked. We started you out with.
We started out.
It tastes just like Double Oaked.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
But I didn't see that. saw the more wider bottle and I
Wasn't sure.
wasn't sure.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. I'm getting this out right here. All right. The tasting notes on this are layers of rich oak, sweet aroma, aromatic notes, caramel, brown sugar, chocolate, vanilla, merge into a cured tobacco character, brightened with apple fruit. The taste is very old oak notes, sweetened with honey, balanced by a touch of citrus and apple peel, and a touch of clove spice. The finish is long and dry and clove spice. In the 1830s, our Woodford County distillery was the setting for a series of discoveries and innovative practices that would define the bourbon industry for generations to come. For the 2020 Masters Collection release, Master Distiller Chris Morris and Assistant Master Distiller Elizabeth McCall have drawn upon the rich history at that time and their own careers for inspiration. Local newspapers from the 19th century highlighted auctions of very fine rare bourbon barrels. The very rare barrels of Woodford Reserve featured in this master's collection date back to the first year Morris became our master distiller. He and McCall have held them back from inclusion in their standard batching process to inaugurate this new package. The result is a rich and dark, robust expression of Woodford Reserve Bourbon. We sincerely hope you enjoy the spirit of Kentucky in its most historic expression, the very fine, rare bourbon of the Woodford Reserve Distillery Master Collection. Now, there you go. That's a reading that you would be proud.
You read that like a boss.
Wow.
You
There we
really
go.
did.
It's not normal, folks. I'm responding to live on Facebook. You getting any comments there, Super Nash?
Yeah. Did you make any mention about this bottle doesn't have an age statement, but from the company's press release and marketing materials state that this bourbon includes liquid barrels from barrels that are 17 years old and date to 2003, indicating Morris and McCall have been holding back the barrels to batch with other barrels for a special release.
That is cool. So you are right. It does have
Yeah, but since it's blended with some other barrels, you can't actually say that it's a 17-year-old bourbon. But that's where I got the notion that it was 17 years old, is because it was blended with barrels that were 17 years old. Another thing about this is the mash bill on this is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley.
Which is the mash bill of all Woodford, correct?
Basically, yeah, the Masters Distiller Select bourbons. But with it having those 17-year-old barrels in there, that really gives it a uniqueness and flavors like none other.
So I just nosed this. I mean, the color in this is just fantastic. It's right up there with the double oaked and whatnot. And this has been opened for a while now.
Mine is down to about the same level as yours,
but we are
and
talking
opened about the same
the
time.
vanilla on this nose is insane. It's almost like I was nosing almonds and vanilla. Like it's almost like you're smelling almond or vanilla extract.
Well, I'm getting vanilla, but I'm getting like this burnt
I don't get
brown sugar.
Toasted.
Like
I'm getting some kind of
that charred oak.
or burnt brown, something in there.
Something beautiful.
What's the proof on this again?
Same as the other ones,
90.4. Yep.
It almost has a nose like a rum. It's very, very sweet nose.
You're right.
It does. Very, very sweet.
On rum. Holy shit. So this is something that I want to say to people. It's like when you open up a bourbon and you let it sit, this has been sitting probably For
Look
about
at the legs on that.
yeah,
It takes forever for a 90.4 proof.
this is
It
delicious.
takes forever for them to appear
I mean, this
and
is
start to run.
I did not, when I opened this bottle, think this was better than Woodford Double Oaked. And it's basically blowing right now after
I love
a
it.
year. Yeah. This is something that I wish I could drink every day.
Yeah.
It's that good. I mean, it is mature. There's no astringent tastes whatsoever. And it just goes through a plethora of palate.
It's got a good taste. It's got a good balanced taste. It kind of mails it in a little bit on the finish, but it's good.
I don't know if you'd say mail it in. It just has a medium. It's not a bad.
Well, I think you've
I think
jaded because I'm getting little, if any, finish out of it.
that Derby,
it's going.
that Derby bourbon has a better finish than this, but this has, right up front, the front part of this palate is just phenomenal.
It's very liquid velvet smooth.
I mean, honestly,
creamy, buttery.
I would say after doing 3 expressions so far, we did the original and whatever. One of the unique things I'm finding out about Woodford Reserve that I didn't really know before is that it has that double finish where you think it's over, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's something else there.
Something else
like
that comes across the palate
or something, and that'll be there. It's not there for a long time, but it's like putting an exclamation mark on the finish, where that's where it ended, even though you thought it ended maybe 20 seconds earlier.
The finish is almond.
That's a good analogy. Almond.
And it's the delayed payload, like Jeff Tiny just said.
One thing that I've gotten off of all 3 of these is that dark fruit. Up front, I get that taste of a dark fruit, either cherry or dark sweet cranberry.
I get that a little bit, and I would not have picked it out had you not brought it up. But since you did and called my attention to it, I'm getting something there, but I'm not entirely sure I think you're going maybe. You want to say cherry because the almond and the 2 tastes are so related, but what I'm getting is more of a fig or a date.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so
I'm kind of getting the fig part of it.
Yeah, a fig. It's not sweet enough for a date, but yeah.
That was delicious, though. I
don't
give a crap. I don't give a crap all on what level. It's just like I could drink that all fucking day.
Now I'm getting like honey.
Yeah.
On the finish. On the finish, I'm just like
it's just still in
the
my
back
mouth.
of my tongue. I'm getting like honey.
There's a little bit of oak going on in my mouth, but then it's like oaky sweet. Oaky, then sweet something else. Oaky almond.
Yeah.
Oaky butterscotch. Oaky. I mean, it's just like it's a complex, delicious.
It's not a dry oak, though. You have to admit it's a sweet oak.
Yeah, it is. It's a very pleasant, uniform.
So
bourbon.
So this is series 17, which we're going to get ready. But what I'm going to do is you should open yours too. Let's let it air out a little bit there.
One other thing on the notes from this, contrary to what it says on the bottle, that this was release number 16.
Right.
According to my notes from the distillery, this was actually for the Masters Collection, release number 15.
Okay, but it does say 16, right?
I'm telling you, this is what I'm reading right here off the paper.
Well, then I'm going to go out on a limb and say this Woodford 5 malted stouted whiskey. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Stouted mash. 5 malted
Malt.
stouted 5 malt stouted mash. This is actually 16, even though on the bottle it says 17.
Well, I have nothing to dispute that, but I just want to tell you what I read, which was an interesting tidbit.
Well, you need to open.
Yes, it was.
Hey, Super Nash. You need to open your bottle of stouted mash.
Gotcha.
And let it air out while we talk about what we're doing this year for the Derby coming up this Saturday. I mean, what are you planning to do? Now, I know where I'm going to be, and it's going to be probably, doing some distillery stuff with this guy here. So we might be catching that, watching the dirt. What time? It's 5.
They usually start coverage around sometime after 5, and then the race usually is somewhere between 5:30 and 6.
Right. And then that's when we'll head back if we get a chance to catch it. I don't want to be driving back in the middle of it. It would be kind of bad to suck to do it, but we're going to be at a distillery and a bar. So I'm sure it's going to be on around there. That's what we're doing. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a ride on the Harley up into the mountains to Harakee's Cherokee Casino and place a couple of bets and on some horses, and I'm gonna have just a mint. I've never ever had a mint julep before, so I think I'm gonna have a mint julep in celebration because I'm riding the bike and I'll be riding back that night. I won't be drinking a whole bunch of bourbon or anything else. So, but I will have a mint julep while I'm up there watching it on about 12 to 15 different big screens.
On our last trip to Kentucky, and I'm not sure where Mrs. Xavier picked it up, but she got this little green bottle about the size of a Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, it's Old Forester. Yeah.
Old Forester, yeah.
It's mint julep. Simple syrup.
Actually, she picked it up at Maker's Mark.
Maybe that's where she.
Maker's Mark had a syrup for mint juleps when we were there.
So I imagine we'll be doing some mint juleps
when we were there on the tour, if you remember.
Okay.
I think that was what it was. I don't know when we'll be doing mint juleps, but maybe you'll once we get home.
Depends.
I love that word.
No, if I wouldn't.
Well, first off, I got to get over it's kind of like, why would I want to punt this mint syrup and perfectly good bourbon? Once I get over that hump, then I can get my head on and say, okay, I'm going to drink a mint julep.
Yeah, but at the same time, we could put it in some perfectly shitty rye because that's also been done.
Well,
I've got a couple of those.
I bet you do.
I'm just not a huge mint fan. But
mint
julep
I'm gonna slap you. My first mint julep ever.
I made it for you.
You made it for us,
and I remember you guys complained it was too strong because I had a double header of Evan Williamson or something like that. Or
no, it wasn't
Jim Beam.
No, it wasn't. I wouldn't complain it was too strong. It was a little bit too many leaves. you had fresh mint. You
were supposed to, when you finish, you take the leaves out, dry them out, roll them up, and smoke them. That's what they were for.
Oh, excellent! But then you were planning on smoking a big, huge, fat stogie with that because we all had so many. I just remember trying to drink through it, not complaining. I liked it, but it was kind of like there was a lot. It was like going through a jungle to get there.
Well, we basically had to
you guys
all of that, and we just left it in like the picture showed on the recipe.
While you guys can finish that up, I'm gonna give you a little bit of sort of history about how this 5 malt stouted mash came about.
Well, like a pour.
In the 1830s, our Woodford County distillery was the setting for a series of discoveries and innovative practices that today define the bourbon industry. For this 2021 Masters Collection release, Master Distiller Chris Morris and Assistant Master Distiller Elizabeth McCall have drawn upon that rich history and their own interest for inspiration. In Kentucky, a fermented grain mash is traditionally called distiller's beer. Distillation converts this beer into a spirit that will become whiskey once barreled. This master's collection is our take on crafting a spirit that exhibits the flavor of classic beer style. In this case, a rich, roasted, malty stout.
Is that it?
Yep.
Nicely done.
Well, just a little bit of extra. Our distillery building was constructed by Irish stonemasons in 1838. That, plus the fact that we distill in the Irish style with the triple pot stills, inspired us to mash and distill an Irish style stout beer. That's what was said by Elizabeth McCall, the assistant master distiller. The result is the fall 2021 Master's Collection release named 5 Malt Stouted Mash, a rich and darkly robust expression of Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Malt Whiskey. And
Excellent.
let me see if I got anything else.
So when we did this tasting with the bus tour at Woodford Reserve, so they basically drive you. The tour company takes you to Woodford Reserve. You meet at the visitor center, and then they whisk you off in another Woodford Reserve bus out into where the rick houses are. And the rick houses at Woodford Reserve, well, one of the cool things about at Woodford, they take you into the bottling plant. They were dumping barrels right in front of you. They were basically popping the bungs off. And I actually, let's see. I believe it's right here. And that's the Four Roses. Let's see. I think I got it. It should be right here. And if it's not, it's nope, there it is. So this bung right here was from an actual Woodford Reserve barrel that while it was on the tour, they popped it out. They were just laying in the trough as they were dumping out the barrels. And what was cool is it was a stainless steel trough, right? Mm-hmm. But when they were dumping out the barrels, they'd roll them on the trough. There was like a track, and they'd pop out the bung. They'd fall just right into the trough, but the charcoal that would come out would go into the trough too. And it seemed to be acting like a filter from all the different barrels they were emptying, that it was acting like a filter as it filtered it into the stainless steel, it was draining and being pumped into the stainless steel container that they were using to make Woodford Reserve.
To blend all the barrels, yeah.
But I was able to get this one. This is from an actual Woodford Reserve barrel. And if you wet it, even to anytime you add moisture to this, you get the whiskey rickhouse smell. It's really kind of a cool thing to have. And so I bet you carry that in your pocket all day at work every day. Yeah, with the little spray bottle.
Yeah. Take me away, like Calgon Bowls. Instead, take me away, bunghole from Woodford Reserve.
And then, the tour at Woodford Reserve was phenomenal. The tasting through the tour company, it happened in their rick house. Now, their rick houses are completely different than any. They are stone, basically ancient stone, structures. They're not real high. I think they're only like 4 stories high, and they basically still they took you in to the place where they would fill the barrels, where they were filling the barrels with showed you the distilling, and then you were in there. And while we were in there, a barrel was being filled. The guy had left, okay, and it was filling and just spilling out. And you just wanted to go over there and go, "What are you doing? Stop and get another barrel." So he came in, he put the bung in, and then they have what they were using for centuries to get it to the rick house. It's a barrel rolling track. It basically
looks like a miniature train track.
So when we drove up in the bus to get dropped off, they drop us off in the street. You had to watch for the barrels rolling by like trains. You know what I mean? You could actually, if you walked in front of a barrel and it hit you, it'd probably hurt you. But you could just see them rolling down towards the rick house, and the tracks. Where the one rick house, it had like a spur, so that it would put it into that rick house. Or if it went down, they were all in line, and they were still using that system to roll the barrels back into the rick houses. I mean, it was fantastic. But we did the tasting in the rick house. So we had a barrel set up, and everybody had their little, tasting things. We got a chocolate, and we did the tasting in the rick house, and that was a phenomenal thing. If you get a chance to, get down to Woodford Reserve, everybody, it is a fantastic experience, set up for, and then you get to see the 3 giant pot stills that they have, that they imported. I believe they imported it out of Scotland. They're just huge. They're like 3 stories high, and they're pot stills. I mean, it's really kind of cool.
I'm personally looking forward to this. Hopefully we get to tour that this September.
I would like to ask them if does what effect, if any, because they probably just artificially control it to their taste anyhow, but when you think of a wood rick house, or wood and sheet metal construction rick house as compared to a stone fortress rick house, what effect, if any, that has on the aging process and ultimately the taste of the product, if there is any difference. Again, they probably just control the temperature regardless of what the structure is, and
go from there.
I'm going to remind you of that thought. I want to hear the answer to that question direct from our tour guide at Woodford Reserve this September.
Okay, good. Maybe between the two of us, one of us will remember it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So this right here is the 5 malt
stouted mash.
Yep. And this is 5 different malt, different malts. I believe one's a chocolate, one they're toasted. I mean, they're all different. And then it's like you said, it's a stouted beer mash. And
wow, and the nose is amazing. It's like a roasted malt. Almost like a beer, like a stout beer, like a German stout beer.
Cornbread.
No, what I'm getting is vanilla honey nut Cheerios.
I'm getting cornbread.
I get the
or
malt,
hush puppies or something.
I get the malt, that malt.
I get that roasted malt.
Yeah, I get the malt all day, which is like toasted oats, malt.
Yeah,
and I get that, but I also get a huge vanilla.
I'm almost getting
it's so complex.
Just a little bit of chocolate or maybe cocoa.
You know what?
I'm just a little bit of maybe almond or
it's weird. You guys are getting almond. That, and I'm getting hot cornbread just out of the oven is what or just out of if a pan fry it, bake it.
But like the mash bill on this is malt. This is like almost close to a single malt.
Well, that's true.
Hey, you can still, yeah.
It was, we saw it, a couple distilleries, Neely family distillery comes to mind. You can really do a lot with the type of malt you're using. You can really influence the flavor. I mean, we were tasting some whiskey there that I could have sworn was a rye whiskey, but it was actually a wheated whiskey and the type of malt they were using.
Yeah. And a really good friend of ours and the sponsor of Alan Bishop from Spirits of French Lick Distillery. He does a lot with different kinds of malts.
Right.
Oh my God. Holy shit. Chocolate, and more chocolate. Wow. Holy
oh my gosh.
I'm getting buttered cornbread.
You know what this reminds me of, Jeff? And you know exactly what I'm talking about because you were with me the day we got it. Rabbit Hole Distillery. That chocolate malted rye. Yeah. That chocolate malted bourbon that we got.
Yeah,
special release.
but this is much.
This is much more rich in the chocolatiness.
Yeah,
If that's a word.
but that malt, it's you know what? This is like a malted. This is like a chocolate malt. It's like a chocolate malt shake or a milk, a chocolate malt. That's what you call it, right? That's what you call it. It's like not a milkshake.
Malted, like a malted milk ball.
Malt.
Yeah, it's a chocolate malt. I mean, shake.
Malted milk ball.
It's so.
You know, I'm getting maybe a little bit of that, but I'm still getting hot cornbread and butter. It's good. It's also a very uniform product. There's nothing nasty or bitter on the side palate.
Wow, I'm getting.
That's complex.
This is just fantastic.
Yeah, I got to taste this.
As I nose this more after I'm drinking a little bit, I'm getting a little bit of that orange or
some Parker Heritage.
No.
You sit down.
This is just like an orange zest. Like you just scraped a little bit of the orange peeling, just a little bit of that orange oil. Not a citrusy, but just like that orange oil, like the zest.
The orange zest or lemon zest.
Yeah.
When you are out in your travels this week, Super Nash, sometimes with your seafood, you get cornbread or hush puppies.
Hush puppies.
When you bite into that and think of what you're tasting here and tell me whether you agree or disagree.
Well,
I agree. I'm getting that corn.
Well, I just got maybe a little bit of corn on the cob. I got that a little bit. You know what I mean? But I still,
when I get it on the nose, it's just like if I've got a piece of cornbread and I'm bringing it up to my face.
And that's the good part about whiskey. It's something different to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, just Xavier's picking up corn off of a malted barley whiskey. It's just that's what it is. You got to like what you like. And
I'm sure there's
and nose.
There's probably malted corn in there too. It's a 5 malt stouted mash, and it's a bourbon, so I guarantee you the corn part of this was probably malted corn.
No,
so
no, it's not a bourbon. This is a Kentucky malt whiskey.
Oh, okay. It's a
whiskey. It's a 5 malt stouted, and I don't even think they have corn in this. I think this is like a single malt.
I guarantee you, I bet there's some malted corn in there.
Okay.
I will
throw down before we go, look that shit up.
That's it.
You know what? We went in order, and every single one of these I'd have another. But this one is special. Wow. I'm gonna have a little more of that. Just a little.
Wow, I am so appreciative that Stacy helped me out getting this bottle today.
Yeah, thank you, Stacy, for helping the Scotchy Bourbon Boys out, and hopefully Martin will represent us in the future at helping you get some good barrel picks, right?
Absolutely. Well, actually, that would be all of us, because, like I say, when we talked about it, hopefully, like I say, she'll send me the barrel pick samples, and we'll get them to y'all, and then we'll either Facebook Live it or YouTube it, and
we'll
put it
Facebook
up.
Live podcast it, do a barrel pick live on the podcast. I mean,
that's what she put out there. Exactly. And she said that'd be good for us and good for her too.
So based off of what Facebook Live does to us, you share to all the groups throughout the night, it doesn't seem like we hit a large audience. Like right now we have still probably Carl asleep in the hot tub.
Yeah.
But, haven't gotten a really good response. Next time, let's hit this a YouTube live, and then we'll just keep playing around doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Hey, that sounds good.
All right. So that brings us to, we got to do this quick. The Kentucky Derby's happening on Saturday. We have our picks.
Yes, we do.
Nash have gone through the 148th running of the Kentucky Derby. We know the pole position, and we put our picks in for win, place, and show.
Win, place, and show.
When you say you put your picks in, you actually laid some money down on it?
Well, Super Nash is talking about going and laying some money down.
Yeah.
So I've got my picks. He's got his picks.
Before I show ours, Bill, would you like to take a look at his phone? He's got a picture of the 20 starting positions or post positions of the horses. Do you want to pick your 3? It's got the odds on each one. And then I'll put ours up. But we'll give you a chance before I put yours, or if you want, I'll put ours up, and you can make your pick.
Just give me that, and I'll tell you the ones I like.
All right, here we go. These are
I'm looking at this. Yeah, here.
All right, these are Jeff and my picks for win, place, or show for the 2022 running of the Kentucky Derby, number 148.
You're showing it, but remember we're on an audio podcast too. So
all right.
Also
for my win, place, or show, I am
Epicenter.
For win, I'm putting Messier for my win, and for show place, I'm putting Epicenter, and for show, I'm putting Crown Pride. For Jeff's win, he's putting Taiba.
Neither one.
Or Taiba. And for his place, Jeff is putting Zandon, which is at 3-1 odds. And for his show, he is putting Mo Donegal.
It's an Irish town.
Donegal is a town in Pennsylvania and in Ireland.
Okay, yes. And it's at 10-1 odds.
Okay, so here's my win, place, and show.
And
Epicenter
for the win.
What is that noise?
Rain.
Wow.
Y'all are supposed to be getting it.
Zandon for place.
We both put
Messier for show.
Cool. And I got yours written on here now, Bill. Xavier.
There we go. We have put in our picks. We will be back again next week to see how we all did.
And just so everybody sees it on YouTube Live, and you heard Bill with his win, place, and show, and you heard ours, and that is living proof right there. We're going to put some money down, hopefully, weather permitting.
Here's your phone, Jeff.
Oh, I'm going like, how am I going to end this? All right. Everybody, once again, fantastic podcast. That was fun.
Someone was going to have Super Nash
2022 Derby.
It's great to be here.
Podcast. Some fantastic Woodford Reserve.
We're going to have to cancel the milk bottles with your name on the label now, because now we know where you're at.
Jeff said he was going to do that. I didn't take him serious. He would have got more response if he would have put them on liquor bottles.
Yeah,
bourbon bottles.
I mean, me and his brothers tried to take him out, but we almost took someone else out. So we're not going to try that again. All right, everybody. Remember, when you go out there, good bourbon equals good times, good friends. Good whiskey equals good times, good friends. And get the hell out and live your life and live it dangerously. Good night, everybody.
Good night, and thanks for joining us.
Good night. Thanks for watching.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right.
All right.
All right. We're going to hit audio magic.
Did you end your Facebook Live?
Not yet. We still are live on Facebook.
Still live.
I'm going to
You're
first
going strong.
get this saving on publish to upload
It has a
it.
different background to it, it seems.
What?
That application. Normally it's darker. It's like a green and
Sometimes it's night.
orange contrast.
All right, let's go podcast. KB, no, KD2. I don't want to save it to Podcast Studio. I want to save it to Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Here we go. All right, so we're building that episode. So we are going to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook Live.
All one.
Let's see. All right. Thank you for watching tonight. Everybody who watched live. We appreciate it. We will be doing this from time to time, and we will also be doing some YouTube live streaming. But good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for joining us.
All right. The live stream has stopped. Whoa. Wow.
Wow.
Did you hear that? No, you guys didn't. I did. But that didn't matter because guess what?
You saved the whiskey.
No, because that's no longer recording because that's just I can take this away. Oh, so Super Nash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this. Everybody gets this. This is the first time for Tiny to be,
The unveiling.
yep, hatless.
Unveiled.
Now this is a look, right?
For you.
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
No, it's a look, but at the same time, this just for everybody to know because I need the headphones. This is horrible. I mean, yeah, that just like that. This works, but this turns me into it. Just defines the egg. So we're just. I don't like it. I like it with the hat. And if everybody on Facebook or YouTube noticed, I was wearing my Heaven's Door hat tonight. Great bourbons. Hey, it's Roxy.
Hey,
So even a bonus Roxy appearance down here, putting away tools. So we did the Kentucky Derby special edition podcast tonight.
yeah.
We had some really good stuff, but you should come over here and taste that 5 stouted,
Five malt
stouted wheat with stouted mash.
Okay. Pass it over.
Twist.
Twist my arm.
That's it.
Might taste different since I just ate a chocolate chip cookie.
Well, that'll probably even taste better. Since when does chocolate chip not go with malted whiskey?
Give me a
Exactly.
and I don't care what you give me.
Of something?
Yeah. Anything. You can give me the Wilderness Trail or whatever that is.
Oh, this is the Derby Pick Wilderness Trail. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah,
but this is 2021
give me
Wilderness Trail.
just a little bit of that.
So there we go. We got that last year. It was their Derby pick. Super Nash and Jason Thompson. Oh my God. Jason Sparkman.
Sparkman.
How could you screw up Jason's name?
Because that's what I do. I screw up fucking names.
That's how you roll.
This here is Bill Verona. That's about it.
Close enough.
At least you didn't call him Sharona.
I just left.
That's what I just thought. My Sharona.
Verona. My favorite movie, Reality Bites.
The taste of this is pleasant. The body is kind of weak. It just stays on the tongue mostly.
Everything from Woodford Reserve is 90.4.
What does that have to do with the price of
this
it?
is
Proof. The proof is always
But some
you're a high proof
bigger.
you're a high proof whiskey witch. We haven't had whiskey witch from Alan yet.
I mean, I can drink this like this, like I would drink like water.
Yeah, it's drinkable, but isn't it like delicious water?
I said it's good. It's a very pleasant taste.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But you don't want to drink that like water, considering it's $134 a bottle.
That's a bit overpriced.
No, I think actually the complexity of it is actually pretty cool.
This sums up Kentucky Derby week in Kentucky. Wally Dent posted this an hour ago for Long Still Distillery. Go ahead, call in sick. It's Derby week in the Bluegrass. Book your tasting today, Long Still Distillery.
I wish I would transfer to Ohio. We're just the next state up. Let's just we should start taking Derby week just off. Like, not part of our vacation days. It's just we get it off. You tell our bosses that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't count as vacation. It's just the Derby week.
I already try to do that with deer season though.
Yeah, but your wife doesn't participate. I think you can get it.
Got to pick your battles, don't you, Bill?
Karen is going to participate.
Keep your powder dry to the absolute.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
On one of your wife's,
I only have one wife.
You're on your wife's favorite day, which is Kentucky Derby Day. I mean, honestly, out of anything that happens, it's the thing she gets the most excited about. She's actually going to be working, correct?
Correct.
That sucks. That's like not having off on your birthday.
I worked my birthday.
I try and forget my birthday, so I don't even know what the fuck I do on my birthday anymore. But we all know where we'll be.
On your birthday, we're going to be in Kentucky. We celebrate yours and Roxy's birthday there.
But I do try and forget it.
But I remind you.
No, you didn't that night. That was not a reminder. There was
No, I didn't. I bought your dinner.
Wait, we're not talking about last year. We're talking about 2019.
Oh, okay. No,
we won't buy my dinner that night.
We won't go there. You were trying to give it back.
I gave everything back, and I was trying to forget everything too.
Oh God!
You know what? We're gonna have to tie one on, Martin. We've always been good when we're together. We're gonna have to get fucking rowdy one night. I mean, I don't even think we've ever woke up, and we probably where we all woke up with hangovers. I mean, we're pretty good.
Yeah, we have been.
Well, fuck that. I mean, we got to push it.
Well, you guys that haven't had the heart surgeries, knock yourselves out. I can't get myself.
I'm trying to avoid the heart surgery.
Hey, Super Nash. So you know, that's a bunch of bullshit. What he just said. He's got a tolerance now that he basically could drink probably double what we drink, but he won't be feeling bad, and we'll just be laying in the gutter.
There's one when we were down at Dayton Barrel Works, that damn near got out of the barn there. Yeah. That was the closest I've come to oblivion.
He wasn't used to
the white
just
dog.
was no, but you just weren't. He gave us like 9 different things,
and I pounded it all. I didn't spit any of it out, man. It was gone.
Once again, I didn't spit. There was a little garbage can he gave us to dump, and it was just like dump. Oh, this is delicious.
I was dumping it down my throat.
He didn't dump one,
and then all of a sudden, like, okay, why do I feel like Hans Brinker in the Silver Skates now when I try to walk? You know, it was just It's like, you got to be kidding me.
If anybody is listening still,
nobody's listening.
The YouTube's gone, but we're on. I mean, the Facebook Live's gone, but we're still YouTube Live. Not live, but we're going to be on. This is going to be on YouTube. This is our YouTube extra.
Right.
But just so you know, go back to the Dayton Barrel Works podcast. Listen to it, because it was Xavier's defining fucking moment podcast. I mean, not only was he like, so there's one thing where I drag him over here and we start this shit at 8:15, 8:30. It goes till 9:30. After a hard day's work, and I gotta pump him up, get him going, but I usually do. We usually get going. But we drove down, had some coffee on a Saturday morning. We drove like 2.5, 3 hours to Dayton.
Chocolate chip cookie or muffin or something.
Whatever.
Really
and we got to the distillery at 10 a.m. He was giving us, Bill Hockett was giving us Rubicon Creek before we even started. And I'm telling you, man, this man had the right amount of coffee. It was the morning. He wasn't worked to death before he came here. And he basically was on his game. And then we started giving him more and more and more liquor. And it led to a fantastic podcast. Now, I have to say, I wasn't I probably should have said to myself, Xavier isn't used to this. Yeah, maybe I should just
you're walking towards the minefield.
Yeah, right. Billy. But I was like, he is so
change your course. But no, you kept saying, "Oh, you're fine. Keep going."
I never said shit, buddy. I did not say shit. I did not encourage him, but I did not discourage him. And we laid down one of our better.
He's
podcasts.
The kind of guy, Super Nash, that as you're falling over the cliff, he's yelling down to you, watch that step.
No, I'm putting you over my shoulder and taking you back to the car.
Bullshit.
But yes, I would have. I would have put you over my shoulder and taken you back
to do that.
I didn't have to. No, you didn't, but I would. I'll do that because I'm a big, strong guy.
I was on the cusp of oblivion.
But who the fuck am I to tell you? I mean, we're all big boys. But next time, I probably...
Oh, there isn't going to be a next time. Trust me, I will not.
Yeah, he learned his lesson the first time.
I burnt my fingers once.
We all say there won't be a next time. Yeah. Wink, wink, wink. Hey, I'm not even saying there's not a next time for me decorating your shoes, but I try not to.
I did not decorate your shoes.
No, you don't. No, you didn't.
I didn't decorate the floor or anything.
But you.
I had to go put my head down for about 50 minutes.
You put your head down for the rest of the time.
No, I did not. I was back there for about 50 minutes. I was back there from 1:20 to 2:10.
Yeah, except and we left at 3. I tried to get you some food, but the food was too much charcuterie.
Right.
But what I wanted to say is, folks,
we got
just so you know,
Burger King that day, did we not?
Hardee's, yes. Yeah. But what happened is after the podcast from 12 o'clock started a whiskey festival, which, because I was dumping.
When in Rome, do as the Romans.
And basically, there was there was Heaven's Door. There was Barrel Craft Bourbon. There was Bird Dog. There was Penelope. There was, what was the one? There was it wasn't Old Carter, but what's Kentucky Owl. I mean, all the distributors were there. And there was water or Dayton Barrel Works, and they were all sampling their whiskeys, Super Nash. They were all sampling. So we went from the podcast from 10 to 11:15. And then at 12 o'clock, this lunch charcuterie board chip thing started with all whiskeys for more sampling. And
wow.
And I kept going in and checking on him to make sure he was okay. But I was drinking. And then when we finally got out, right, I was like, you need more food, right? And we did go to Hardee's and then drove back home. But for me, I had already done this twice where you hadn't quite quite done it, but you learn, you live and learn. And that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes we got to have the sailor goes down and we do our best, help them out. Right.
You're such a bullshitter. God.
I was there for you. I was. Who drove home?
You drove home.
Was I drunk?
No, you were not.
Exactly. I knew I had to, but once again, I got my ass kicked.
But by that time, I could have drove home too. I wasn't drunk anymore.
But you still weren't feeling it. It was hard on you.
After I got food in me, I was fine.
Right.
But it had been, by the time we drove home, it had been 4 hours since my last drink, maybe 5.
Well, you did a good job of.
I was your navigator.
Well, no, you did you did a good job of never falling off the boat. You stayed on the boat. You kept swabbing the decks, but you never fell off the boat. But like you said, there was a couple moments where you weren't sure.
It was like, okay, I just have to stop for a few minutes.
But I mean,
and a few minutes ended up being 50 minutes, but I was fine after that. Tired, but fine.
It was delicious. All right. Thanks, everybody.
You extra.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, I just killed the microphone on.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, hold on. We're going to stop recording.
Stop it.
The watershed story. A watershed moment might be pivotal, but it might also be quiet and fleeting. It could be a monumentous occasion, a cause for celebration, an enormous triumph, or a small daily victory. A watershed moment could be a rekindling or an observation or a gathering. Any opportunity to relish with friends and family. It's whatever you choose to cheers to, who you're gathered around, and whatever's worth celebrating. We founded Watershed Distillery on the principles of community in 2010. We wanted to live in, work in, and contribute to the community in which we grew up. We aimed to create spirits and stood apart in quality and character. Along the way, we set out to form a community of our own, one that could gather together to savor, celebrate, and enjoy good spirits and company. We've grown from a tiny little still and 2 guys in jumpsuits to a dedicated team of over 40 people and 2 much larger stills. If you're ever in the area, stop by so we can introduce you to our team and pour you some of our award-winning bourbon. Creating it was our watershed moment, but we want to hear about yours.